What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another YouTube video. So today I'm going to be unboxing the RAK Helium hotspot miner. I ordered this in April and it was supposed to come in August, September, and I now just received it in late October. So I hope you guys do enjoy. But before we get started, please make sure that you guys like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications to be notified when I upload new videos. So as you can see, the unboxing is very similar to SenseCap. It has the hotspot, the antenna, as I'm showing right here, and the charger. Pretty basic setup. The antenna is actually almost identical to the SenseCap. Comparing the two antennas, the top one is the RAK, the bottom one is the SenseCap. They both have the same connection to the miner. They're the same length. The only difference is the top part where the antenna tip is. Up next is the charger. I have the US version, so it's going to be the US plug. I'm going to be taking it out of the box now. It is pretty much, if not the same charger for the SenseCap, which is just a USB-C, has the same amount of amperage and voltage output. Because they're connecting to a Raspberry Pi, it's going to be the same charger. So I'm taking it out of the bag now. You can see it's clearly USB-C, and I got the connections here, showing you guys the data if you guys are just curious. Yeah, it's just a regular Raspberry Pi charger. And finally, we have the RAK miner. This is the moment you guys have been waiting for. I've been waiting about 6 months for this. As you can see, it's just a box. It's actually really small, and I'll have a comparison to the SenseCap in a couple minutes coming up, but it's got an Ethernet port, a couple flat sides with nothing going on there, and it's got 4 connections there that are just dummy plugs, with one connection being the actual antenna connection. You can see I'm taking it out there. It just goes straight into the miner. I would assume that there is some point to this. There might be a feature they might be adding in the future, but for me, I didn't notice anything. And then we also got the getting started manual, just a basic manual that's included in every hotspot miner. Just tells you what to do and how to set up your miner. So if you were to compare the SenseCap to the RAK miner, you can see it's clearly smaller, the RAK miner, but it's actually a little bit taller. So I think what is going on here is the SenseCap actually has their whole layout with the Raspberry Pi laid out horizontal, and the RAK tried to just make it as small as possible. They both have the same Raspberry Pi in them, so it's really impressive that RAK was able to make it as small as they did. And with SenseCap, I feel like they also could have done something similar, but obviously they want to make a unique product, and it might have just been easier for them to make that. But it's got the same ports. It's got the antenna port, the USB-C, and the Ethernet. The only difference is on the SenseCap, they managed to get them all on the same side, versus RAK is utilizing the same layout as the Raspberry Pi, so they just have them on the designated side that the Raspberry Pi has them set up for. And now I'm going to be taking the RAK miner apart just to see what's going on in the inside. I did this with the SenseCap, not intentionally. I just thought I broke my SenseCap, but I actually like doing this because it can show you guys what's going on inside, what this company has versus what SenseCap has. And I didn't do it with Bobcat, but I may do it in the future just to compare the three and see what the differences are. We know they're already running a Raspberry Pi computer, but most of these companies have their own boards on board with the Raspberry Pi to make it work with their system, make it work with their software. So, and here is that board I was just talking about. It is a special board made by RAK itself, and it connects directly to the Raspberry Pi. As you can see, we also have a very similar setup to the SenseCap in the fact that this is just a Raspberry Pi. You can see it has the USB ports still there. It's also got those caps to block them off, which is different. I honestly didn't expect them to be there. It also has the antenna, which is hooked up really well to the actual board compared to the Bobcat. I'm going to be comparing everything to the Bobcat because the Bobcat has a really weak antenna connection from the actual case because it's plastic. So all these metal case manufacturers are doing a really good job with making sturdy connections. Now I'm going to be taking off the bottom. So you might notice there are 4 extra screws on the table, and that is because I actually got the screws from the bottom out, but the bottom casing is not coming out. My theory is that it is actually screwed in directly to the Raspberry Pi from this side where I'm working at now, and the only way to access it is to go from this side. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get the bottom off, but I decided to take off this special custom RAK board just to see what's going on there, what the technology is. And it's a little bit hard to get out. It's a tight space, and it's connected with a lot of pins, so I'm being careful not to bend those pins or break anything, because if I break this, there's no going back. I'm going to have to contact CalChip or RAK and tell them, yeah, I was taking apart the miner and I kind of broke it, but wish me luck, guys. So after about 10 minutes trying to carefully remove the board, I finally got it out. As you can see, it is a branded RAK wireless board. They might make this in-house. It would be really cool if they do, but it just connects to the Raspberry Pi pins that is on every Raspberry Pi. And now flipping it over to this side, you can see it's got a M.2 connection, which what looks to be the antenna. They usually have them going into an M.2. And as you can see in the actual casing, you can see where the SD card is. It's clearly a Raspberry Pi. It has the Raspberry Pi logo. And we also have the HDMI ports, micro USB, and they're all just blocked off by a simple shield that RAK put in. One thing I'd be curious to know is if I actually hooked up this Raspberry Pi to a computer and turned it on, if it would display anything. I might do that in the future, but it's just something to think about. Let me know if any of you guys have done anything like that. As I'm putting this miner back together, I figured this would be a good time to talk about today's video sponsor, which is me. I've never had a video sponsor, but I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for everyone who's been watching my videos over the past couple of months. The growth has been amazing. If you guys are feeling so generous as to donate to any type of cryptocurrency if you're choosing, I do have links in the description, and that money is going straight back into these videos, so I really do appreciate it. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys do enjoy. As you can see, here's another little final comparison of the SenseCap and the RAK miner. You can see it's pretty much the same material. I really do enjoy both of these products, and I hope that they continue to make hotspots. And here's just some more size comparisons. And that is it. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.